You know the saying, you're as slow as a turtle? Yeah, that phrase applies to how I consume manga. I am a so very slow at reading it. It's not something I am particularly proud of, but it's my reality. However, in an attempt to uncover the full story behind some of my favorite series, I finally discovered the fast-paced, lustrous world of reading. But not just reading anything, specifically reading Josei manga. For those who are unaware, Josei is a manga demographic that targets adult women, usually over the age of 25. Bestie of the channel, Colleen's Manga Rex, made a wonderful video building a Shoujo starter pack, and I thought, what a great idea! Let me make one of my own. But instead of building a shoujo starter pack, we're building a Josei catalog. Mainly because I wanted to read more from this demo and highlight some Josei series because they deserve more love. In order to get into Josei though, you have to start somewhere. Whether it's through their animes or live action drama, we were all new to the medium at some point. I was also a newbie like some of y'all and low-key still am, so I understand the feeling. This is fixable. So what I want to do today is build a catalog of Josei series that are quintessential for any aspiring Josei fan.
As if you're some expert.
Where do we start, you might wonder? Well, that's easy. Anime. The Josei anime to Josei manga pipeline. This is where most, if not all newcomers start off with their Josei experiences. Although this isn't unique to this demo. Alongside notable shoujo titles like Fruits Basket, Maid-sama, and Skip Beat, the anime boom propelled these series into popularity with hit after hit. Paradise Kiss found its avenue through the fashion modeling subculture and grabbed audiences with its themes of self-discovery and pursuing a career outside the norm. It also gained notoriety from the success of Nana, which tackles similar subject matter. Can I say something controversial real quick?
You're gonna do it anyways.
Okay. Ayazawa is often revered as a big Josei mangaka. But hate to break it to you, she really isn't one. Why are you booing me? I'm right. Paradise Kiss and Nana, to some extent, are the only series of hers that ran in a Josei magazine. Aside from those titles, series such as Tenchi Nakajanai, Last Quarter, and Neighborhood Story all ran in ribbon. I just find it funny when people associate Yazawa-san with Josei because of the mature topics explored, when most of her works are shoujo. A more recent series though, that's pretty well known amongst the broader manga community is the otaku-obsessed Wotakoi, the all-too-real adulthood-focused comedy that makes you salivate over A1's gorgeous animation. The humor is everything. Working a corporate job?
Check.
Not centered around high schoolers?
Double check.
Both of these series are wonderful, but the one that was my origin story was Princess Jellyfish. I almost wouldn't have gotten into Josei if it wasn't for this series. It has everything you need. Cross-dressing, adult protagonists, themes of discovering one's identity, the list. For the uninitiated, Princess Jellyfish follows a young woman named Tsukimi who's had a fascination with jellyfish from a young age. Her now deceased mother randomly took her to an aquarium one day where she equated their flowing tentacles to that of a princess's white dress. This comparison had a profound impact on Tsukimi's perception of femininity and is the pillar behind her main obstacle, which is self-assurance. adults. Now currently living in Tokyo, Tsukimi desires to become an illustrator who is seen as nerdy and socially awkward. Upon Tsukimi's arrival at her new apartment complex, she encounters a group of unemployed otaku women called the Sisterhood, aka Amars, whose property is at risk of redevelopment. With the support of an attractive woman named Kurako, who had previously helped Tsukimi save a jellyfish, they advocate for their neighborhood to remain. But is Kurako truly a woman? No, but is a college student named Kuranosuke, who is the son of a politician. From there, Tsukimi's world turns upside down, as the ideal feminine woman she admired was something wholly different. Princess Jellyfish was such an important series for me, and discovering it had a larger story was my incentive to continue venturing forth. When I watched it at the time, I was in my freshman year of college, so Tsukimi's struggles to acclimate to a big city felt all too real. Her character is uniquely multifaceted and grows as the series evolves into some more introspective topics. However, one of the most intriguing parts of the series, hands down, is Kuranosuke, the femme-presenting icon whose appearance could shock anyone into disarray. Kuranosuke was unruly towards his father, trying to force him into a box of masculinity, and I behaved the exact same way. Kuranosuke wanted to rekindle his connection to his mom, and I wanted to do the same since we both enjoy writing. Other than Ranma 1/2, this was one of the first times I fondly remembered cross-dressing in a form of media. In fact, this was one of the first times I'd seen a cast of mostly adults navigating those aspects of life. Beyond that, the drama and messages presented were incredibly endearing. Princess Jellyfish is a fantastic start for understanding what Josei can be and offer to anyone. But there's so much more to Josei. We need to delve further. I need more! I need more! The next round of series we have on our list is the actual LOL you pulled in your bedroom. We all need to have a good laugh in our lives, pulling an actual LOL unironically. This brand of series I can imagine was a gateway for many people into any manga, since we could all relate to what was happening, and to be honest, made the media more approachable. Comedies were quite special for many of us, as they were often meshed between battle action, supernatural, and fantasy stories. They give us a reprieve from the constant fighting and turmoil, and allow us to shut our brains off from the shenanigans occurring. Maybe you like stories about high school delinquents with their teacher at the forefront. Well, you have Goku-sen. Need a little romance pick-me-up that's equally as funny? Well, androgynous boyfriend wants to say hello. And of course, we have the sextuplets classic, Mr. Osomatsu. Yes, that one is a Josei. While comedies were never really my primary interest, that doesn't mean I didn't have one that I obsessed over. Life Lessons with Uramichi Oni-san, Step Up to the Podium.
I need to see after rehearsal.
This was one that I hadn't started until very recently. I'd watched some of the anime a while ago and remembered being thoroughly entertained by it. It's the kind of dark humor that feels so existential that it sometimes hits a little too close to home. The series centers on the titular title character Uramichi, who is a former professional gymnast turned exercise leader for the children's show Together with Mamen. This parody is based on the Very Real with Mother program airing on NHK in Japan. It's an elaborate production where young adults entertain children through song and dance. In Life Lessons, we follow Uramichi, the host of the show, Iketeru and Utano, the rabbit mascot Tobikichi, and the bear mascot Mitsuo, through learning their inner workings of performing their production. There really isn't a huge overarching narrative with this one. It's just a comically fun time that has a lot of heart to it. Simultaneously, the series acknowledges serious topics like mental health and how Uramichi's destructive mindset is just an ever-present innocent factor. Uramichi embodies the jaded and monotonous part of adulthood, from waking up at a certain time daily and dreading your job to lashing out at people who don't understand your struggles. Uramichi is the kind of person where we all go, wow, he's just like me for real. Especially if you're a recent college graduate like me that has to find a job and work and slave away at capitalism. I'm clearly not over this. I would hazard to say that going into this series without understanding the dark humor is a disaster waiting to happen. But without this aspect, the series' effect is severely diluted. You honestly can't be an avid Josei fan without having a comedy that you don't absolutely love. And on the subject of love, we have our next category, which, you guessed it, the romance that changed your outlook on life. Just like Shoujo, there are an abundance of romance series in Josei. Oh, that was really gross. There's often a stereotype that Josei romance is just inherently more mature than shoujo. In Josei, romance isn't wholly idealized and feels more realistic than what shoujo romance could ever attain. And those opinions come from the weak, the narrow-minded, and the ones who haven't consumed literal trauma.
It is so bad, I want to give you a 0, but that's not possible. So I give you a 1.
When it comes to Josei romance, the first cornerstone would be Honey and Clover, since it's the most notable. The series where art majors enjoyed their prime time at uni and even had an anime to boot. Honey and Clover also comes from the same mangaka as March Comes In Like a Lion, so yes, this one will tear your heart to shreds. If you're looking for an even more dramatic approach to romance, look no further than Tramps Like Us. This one actually scarred me, by the way. You also had the title Natsuyuki Redesvos, which deals with moving on from losing a loved one. For me, though, the one that's had a chokehold on me recently is Changes of Heart. Such an incredibly cool and fascinating read that touches on interpersonal relationships you build with people over time. We follow a young woman named Koyori who recently got dumped by her boyfriend. To cope with this heartbreak, Koyori went over to her childhood friend's house, Hijiri, to drink. Through a series of events, Koyori ended up having a one-night stand with him. She immediately regrets this, but was this a mere coincidence? Following their encounter, Hijiri confesses to Koyori that he's always been in love with her, and subsequently asks her out on a date, but she ends up bailing. On top of that, Koyori's ex wants to get back together with her, adding even more skepticism about pursuing Hijiri. Koyori is nervous about this budding relationship changing their dynamic and losing Hijiri's friendship as a result. From there, the two navigate their adult lives, learning their most suitable partner is right under their nose. In terms of a romance premise, Changes of Heart was refreshing amidst the shoujo romance soap opera telenovela cinematic universe. The series also provides commentary about dating through Koyori's monologue, as if we, the audience, are experiencing this relationship with her. It's a common device used in romance stories, but Changes of Heart uses it more nuancedly than others. The beginning segments alone show us her genuine concern for Hijiri's well-being, even though she's nervous about opening up to him. The pair have also had several relationships prior, so approaching this relationship the same way will only result in inevitable heartbreak. In this case, the importance is placed on learning how to change the status of your relationship while knowing you've had romantic feelings for each other all along. The right person comes in time, as our duo realize that as they slowly start dating. It's such an introspective look at a childhood friends to lovers, where we get to see the characters' progression from all stages of their lives. Romance is always always a special and endearing genre for anybody, and Josei is no exception. But now we need to delve deeper and into even more dramatic territory, entering the next stage of series in building our Josei catalog. Drama, drama, rama. I'm a drama queen, I'm living in my own world.
I am plastic.
I'm a princess. Duh.
I'm a princess, duh.
Drama is a genre that once you start consuming it, it's impossible to look away from. It could be for various reasons depending on your perspective, but it's one that sticks with you for all eternity. I mean, if I look at the shoujo alone, Orange has grabbed me by the neck since the first time I experienced it. It's not as simple as consuming it. It's an entire experience. Topics explored here usually cover more realistic depictions of life and cover heavier subject matter. Some of it can be triggering though. Where I've often seen most people start with when it comes to drama josei would be Something's Wrong with Us, which is about Japanese sweetmaking. The tension, the lusting, the sexual intimacy, the insanity of the plot. Whew. If you're familiar with the likes of Kitchen Princess and Arisa, oh yeah, Natsume Ando was partly responsible for those. There are so many drama series Baby K read in high school that he simply was not smart enough to engage with. One that gobsmacked me that kinda hits a nostalgia spot is Hakuoki, a historical drama, otome, reverse harem, madness of insanity, yet I'm still struggling to find out why people think this is a reverse harem. Additionally, I can't exclude the iconic, insanely popular episodic drama Don't Call It Mystery. It's by Yumi Tamura, who also created Basara and Seven Seeds, so you know this one's gonna be a keeper. And it's actually on my shelf. Right here. I have it. I have to buy more because I actually finished this a while ago and I just haven't read the other volumes yet. I've only read the 2 that are in here. I want to get more of this because I really like it. However, out of all of those, the one that's resonated with me the most is Descending Stories. The performing arcs mixed in with ample amounts of heat spoke to me so deeply to my theatrical soul. The series follows a small-time, unnamed male crook who was recently released from prison. Throughout his time in confinement, he aspired to be immersed in the art of Rococo after seeing a master perform the God of Death tale. After tracking down the master performer named Yakumo, our crook pleads in order to become his apprentice. Yakumo reluctantly accepts, and our crook is given the name Yotaro. Everyone in Yakumo's circle, on the other hand, is puzzled why he would be taking on an apprentice since he's never done this before. From there, Yotaro, along with Yakumo's adoptive daughter Konatsu, are brought into the complex politics of Rococo theater, all the while uncovering secrets behind Yakumo's past and deeper meanings behind this generational tradition. There were so many parts of this manga that were ingrained in my brain. Also, learning about the history of Rococo was endlessly fascinating. Descending Stories is absolutely phenomenal. To ingrain yourself into the Josei cinematic universe, you really need that manga that leaves you on the edge of your seat. But if you thought that was hot, well, strap yourself in, lads, for a bumpy ride as we head into the dumpster fire that burned you from the inside out.
Oh, so you're going there.
Yes, I'm going there. What, like it's hard? Ah, the trash. The notoriously insufferable. You can't be an anime and manga fan without consuming some garbage. Gotta marinate in it and soak in all that toxicity. We have it for lunch, sometimes breakfast, maybe even dinner. No, wait. We have it for brunch dinner. For some reason, the Dumpster Fire series always perform better than the actual good ones. It's often these series that are discussed in a broader landscape outside of shoujo and josei circles. I'm not oblivious as to why this happens. People enjoy the taboo, the shocking, dare I say, the problematic. Boo! Tomato, tomato, boo! Betty Queen, Betty Queen! I'd say the first pit stop people go to with Dumpster Fire Josei would be Loveless. Remember that? Yeah, I do too. This dark, very dark fantasy series received an anime and was incredibly popular with people at the time.
I wrote nasty, but in a good way.
Nasty. And, in the good kind of way.
Afterward, you can consume something even more garbage. This one had potential, but it's garbage. Bunny Drop. This story had so much potential, but it went in the opposite direction. If you know, you know. Still, none of us are immune to trash that's somehow treasure, even as someone who doesn't associate with that type of content anymore. Besides those series, there's also another little small intersection. Anybody know the S word that ends with T? Not the curse word? S that ends with T. Yeah, we're talking about that. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to get demonetized. This genre has a very extensive history, and given that this demo skews older, it should really go as no surprise that erotic content would be explored more explicitly. Renai Metro was one I read during my manga go days, and it was wild, just straight bananas from start to finish. My own pick for Dumpster Fire Josei would be Between the Italian Sheets. I'm not sure if this one is canonically Josei, since it was adapted from a novel. While I'm not an avid Dumpster Fire reader, like at all, there's something about Between the Italian Sheets that made me enjoy it. Maybe it's because it was short and I couldn't contemplate too deeply about what was going on, but you catch my drift. This series follows an Italian businessman named Luca who decidedly has no interest in having a partner. But that all changes when he meets the beautiful New Zealand lady Emily, and the two bond with one another over their familial losses. You can connect the dots as to how they seal the deal of their bonding, and it's very spicy. Is this one a dumpster fire read because it's polarizing? Not really. It's just short, and the story is just not existent, so it's like the Pretty Little Liars effect for me, where I thoroughly enjoyed it back in the day, but then you come back and consume it and it was whiplash. Let's moonwalk ourselves out of this
Toxic gossip train.
and get into some actually good material in our last category, aptly known as the specialty. These series involve characters with careers or professions, with many of the ones I've consumed residing in the performing arts. Sadly, a lot of these ones aren't accessible in the US, like quite a few titles I mentioned, unfortunately. I'm still going to discuss them because I think they deserve some type of spotlight. So please don't be a Debbie Downer that some of the ones I may mention aren't easily accessible. One such series that is severely underrated, though was incredibly popular, is Kids on the Slope. It's set in 1960s Japan following a high school boy named Kaoru who recently moved to Nagasaki because of his father's work. Along the way, he meets the class representative Ritsuko and the frumpy bad boy Sentaro, and the boys together start a band. Kids on the Slope is one of my favorite stories, and arguably is one of Josei's magnum opuses. The series hits you with the most unexpected gut punches, and it will make you cry. That's not an if. It will make you bawl your eyes out, so prepare your tissues. I did make a whole video covering the love triangle in Kids on the Slope if you are interested in hearing more of my thoughts on the series, because it is one of my favorites. Sailing on the coattails of music, you also had the series No Dame Cantabile, which details a perfectionist music student who aspires to become a conductor, and he ends up meeting a pianist, and the two of them and their rivalry is what pushes them towards their dreams in the concert music world. However, the one that has hooked me from season 1, chapter 1, episode 1 has to be Chihaya Furu. Magnificent! I ain't saying anything new. This series is so popular, it's probably what most people think of when you utter the word Josei. If you don't know what this is, you just must be living under a rock. For some reason, Madhouse has not announced a season 4. It'll come out eventually, but Madhouse, when is this coming out? I'm sure most of you already know what this series entails, but I'll give a brief synopsis anyway. Chihaya Furu is a sports drama series following a girl named Chihaya who has constantly been in her sister's shadow, who's a model. To combat this, one day a new student named Arata arrives, where she is entranced by the precision-based card game of Karuta. They both befriend one another, with Arata seeing Chihaya becoming a worthy player for her skills. This all changes once a tragedy strikes Arata when his grandfather, who taught him how to play Karuta, passed away due to a stroke. This traumatized him deeply and ended up sworning off playing Karuta again because of this. For now anyway. Afterwards, Chihaya, alongside her childhood friend Taichi, create a Karuta club at their high school and compete at various competitions. Chihaya Furu is one of the few sports series that has permanently etched itself into my psyche. The characters are lovable, the writing is impeccable, and the competitive aspect of it is really good. Digging into the characters' behaviors and how they participate in Karuta was always so fascinating for me. It also has one of my favorite love triangles of anime and manga, with the ultimate shipping victory. Chihaya is such a wonderful presence. Shoujo boys could take a cue from Taichi, and Arata's backstory entirely is so enticing and heart-wrenching that you can't help but get invested. After picking up a specialty series that's wormed its way into your heart, you have finally finished building your Josei catalog. With all of these series under your belt, you can finally establish yourself into the Josei cinematic universe. These were all my personal picks for a Josei series that I enjoyed, so they might not be what you consume. I would love to see all of my besties down below give their own Josei catalogs. What series did you consume? What are your thoughts on Josei anime and manga? Even people in the regular community don't even know this demo exists. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? I'm curious. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, you know the drill. Please, y'all, YouTube has been my mortal enemy this year. I want to keep making videos, but the algorithm is making that increasingly difficult. The price to pay of being a content creator, I guess. That's all I have for y'all. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you guys soon for my next video. Until next time, bye!